Hi, just say hello if you're out there waiting. Hello. Anyone here for the live today? Just write in the comments hello so I know there's someone watching, please. That's okay. I'll make a start anyway because I know a lot of you are busy and you'll watch this back. The first thing I want to say is that we've had Rubber Dance arrive. It was about a week ago, but it's between the last Facebook Live and this one. So some of the new stamps that have come in are from their latest release. Here's one that I love. I love that one, Little Witch. Everything Halloween, but in a really cutesy kind of way. So one that you can have a lot of fun with. I know I would. And in the small ones, we've also got Inky Butterflies, which are the new butterflies from Rubber Dance, in the small set. If you want all of them, I've also got them in the bigger set, Inky Friends, and it's got the butterflies, the moths, and the bees in that set. And they're about that size. This one is Celestial. Everything, earth, sun, moon, stars, clouds. One that you can have a lot of fun with. There's that one. And there's Happy Place. I really like this one. And Suzanne Rose from Rubber Dance has been doing a few things on her YouTube channel with this too. So check that out. That's Happy Place. That one. And Inky Flowers, this one. One of my favourite sets because the flowers have so much movement and you can really, instead of just being a straight flower that just sits on your page, it's got the curves in it and it's just got a little bit more real life to it. This one, last one I'll show you, is Textured Christmas Trees. And they look like hats which have been turned into trees. When I look at it, I don't know. What do you see? Do you see hats as well? I think it has, you can leave them as trees and put presents around them, or you can use them as hats and put them on some other characters, maybe in some other sets. The other thing that we have on order at the moment, and it has arrived at my supplier and should be on the way shortly, is the Crackling Campfire new colour from Ranger. Lavinia is also on order, and I'm getting the 2021 calendars in, and every page is jam-packed full of stamped images and it's full of colour, and the boxes are big enough that you can write in them as well, just in case anyone wanted to know about that. It's in an A4 size. Also the multifarious card. Now I've had a lot of people contact me and ask me if I would get the multifarious card in, and that's the card that Lavinia use on all the demonstrations. So I've decided to get that in, and I'm getting them in, not in the A4, the half A4 and the quarter, and more stencils because I keep selling out of the stencils. So I have more stencils coming as well, and I will put together that special deal where if you buy the whole set, you'll get them at a special price. Castle Craft have the new collection, the Jab collection. They are also on order. They've been on order for a few days, but they haven't left yet. So probably 2 or 3 weeks away before they start arriving. And what's interesting with Castle Craft, some of you I know have got the ostrich, which is in Australian terms, it's like the emu head, and they've brought out the feet. So if you've been over to the Castle Craft Facebook group, you'll see a few cards that have been made where the ostrich's head is upside down, and then you've got the feet. So it looks like it's looking between its legs, and that's a nice fun thing to do. So I've got plenty of ostrich legs or chicken legs coming in, and probably a couple of weeks away. After I do the Facebook Lives, I upload it to YouTube, and I know I've spoken about this before, and after today there'll be, I think, 5 Facebook Live sessions on YouTube, and I've been looking at ways to make it more effective and easier for you as well. And one of the things I've come up with is that I want to turn it into like a library of techniques and build up a resource of knowledge. So if you need to just refresh on how something's done, it's somewhere where you can go and you'll easily find which one it is and be able to look it up. So I'll be working on that over the next couple of months, and I'm pretty excited about that. What else? I have a list in front of me, so I'm just reading it. The Zoom classes start this month, and they're on the 25th and the 27th of September. So what will happen with the Zoom classes, there'll be a new one each month, but the one from this month may have an extra date next month along with 2 dates for the new one. So there'll be like 3 offered. The following month it'll have another new one, plus the one from this month, plus the one from next month. And that's after 2 or 3 months, it'll start building up with a lot more choices. At the moment, they're in there for 2 p.m. in the afternoon on a Friday and Sunday. I may tweak that a little bit. That doesn't really fit in with people who live overseas. So if you are overseas, England, America, Europe, wherever, and you'd like to join in on one, please contact me at dot@inkartdesigns.com, because all we have to do is work around time zones. So if I can do an evening one here, it'll be a morning one for you, or vice versa. And that may work in with some Australians as well, where they might want to do an evening class or an early morning class rather than something in the middle of the afternoon. So it can work really well with a lot of people. So what I was thinking would be a great idea is if someone in Victoria comes into a class, and then there's someone from Queensland, there's someone from Western Australia, and someone from England decides to pop in as well. It's a really nice little community that we're going to start to build. So I hope some of you get on board with those. I'm going to get straight into the techniques today. And what I'm going to do is a couple of demos on stenciling. But I thought I'd do something a little bit different. And how it came about is because I've had, when I go around various groups and I read what comments people make, what a lot of people are asking about is, what do you do with stencils? And I thought, okay, they've been up for a few years. There must be a lot of new people coming into crafting, or people who have been doing other types of crafting and they haven't had a go at stencils. So it is something that's new, and we sometimes forget about that. So I'm going to show you the basics, but I'm going to put a twist on it, and I'm going to do it on glossy card. And this came about because I was talking to a friend the other day who'd been working on glossy card with distress oxides. And so I've just put my own twist on it. So glossy card, shining, I don't know, is it shining? The glossy card, we're not talking Ranger or the good stuff. We're talking cheap and nasty. We're talking photographic paper. We're talking go to Safeways or Woolworths and buy the El Cheapo glossy card. That's all you need for this. No big expense involved. The first thing we're going to do is put a bit of colour down, and for that you need a baby wipe. And I'm going to show you, I'll take you down to the table. Right, so you get, I'm using picked raspberry, and I haven't had a go with this colour yet, so we'll see. And I'm just twisting it onto the craft sheet. Make sure that's on tight so it doesn't dry out. And then you pick it up, see, just on your baby wipe, and dab it like this. And all this is doing is just quickly putting down a little bit of colour onto the glossy card. What you can do is twist it around, and you can make nice little patterns with the folds that are there. You can have a bit of fun with that. All right, that might be enough. So don't overthink it. Then what we're going to do, oh, I'll take you back up again. Okay, I'll show you what I've done. This is all I've done, right? So, I don't know, was anyone timing me? Did that take about 30 seconds? I don't think it took all that long, really. It's just getting colour down on the card, break the white. That's all you're doing at that stage. The stencil I'm using today is a That's Crafty stencil. Oh, sorry, I'll show you the cleaner side. It's got black paint on it. And it's the circles, the bubbles from That's Crafty in the Dinky stencils. I did a little sneaky thing before I came on today, and I haven't got many Dinky stencils. This is all I've got, right? Stars, hearts, and what are they called? Bubbles background. They're all on special. Already on special are the visible image stencils, and I also went on and I've put the darkroom door stencils on special. So because we're doing stencils today, I've put those 3 companies on special. They're not bad specials. And you'll find that at inkartdesigns.com. Now with this stencil, we're going to firstly do reverse stenciling. So how we do that, I'm going to take you back down. Reverse stenciling. I grab my oxide and I scrape it onto the stencil. Right, put that out of the way. And spritz it with a little water. Right, can you see? That's all you need. Back up again, sorry about that. I'm going to show you how not to do it first, because I think you need to know what happens if you don't do it quite how you intended. So here we go, doing it not quite right. Back down. This is what you might do. You might go like that. Put the whole stencil down and lift it up. So that's how it looks. It doesn't look too bad, actually. And back up. Sorry guys, hope you're not getting vertigo. But you end up with your straight edges, and that may not be the look that you're after. What you need to do, I'll show you how to do it the correct way this time. Well, I shouldn't say correct and wrong, should I? It all depends on what look you're after. That's not the look that I'm after for what I'm demoing. So this is what I'm going to do. Back down. Again, put the picked raspberry, Distress Oxide, onto the stencil. Give it a squirt, like that. And then with paper towel, I'm going to just wipe around the edges. What this does, if you're using the stencil and you accidentally drop it, you're not going to end up with straight lines. We want really random. And I'll show you what happens when you do it randomly. Are you ready? The other thing that you need to do is bend it, because I don't want the edges, don't want that edge or that edge or that edge or that edge touching the card. I only want the middle, so I'm going to bend it. Yeah, bend it like Beckham. Right, here we go. I'm going to go down, lift up the edges and dab it with a paper towel. Lift it and dab it again. All right, can you see what's happening? That's what we call reverse stenciling. I can see that there's still some oxides on my stencil showing in the light there, so I'm going to put some more. We'll put some more over here. I'm holding it up. Can you see I'm holding it up and dabbing it, and then dab it to take it off and clean up your stencil. I'll do that later. Okay, come back up to me. Right, so now this is what background we've got. How cool is that? I like that. I like the pink raspberry. It's a nice strong colour. If you wanted to do it, tone it down a little bit, you'd just use a lighter colour of pink. You could use light blues, light greens, whatever. So that's the oxides. Comes up nice on the shiny card. I'm just going to dry it off a fraction. And explain to you why when I was holding the stencil down, why I dabbed it with a bit of paper towel. Sometimes if you have a lot of moisture, a lot of water on the back of your stencil, and you put the stencil down, it can be pushed up around where your image is. So if you put the paper towel on it, it takes it up and then you get your nice crisp image. You can see the circles. See the circles? Nice and clear. But if I had had more water on the stencil and it had have come up, it would have had a jagged edge going around it. So that's why I did that. Right. I hope that makes sense. The other thing I'm going to do, reverse stenciling. Heaps of fun, and I have to say it is my favourite one to do. Absolutely my all-time favourite one to do. The other one I'm going to do, I rock and roll a little bit when I'm at my craft table. Still with the Distress Oxides, and I'm using the mini blending tool. So just have the mini blending tool, you've got your foam pads, stick it on. You load up your tool, and this is just straight blending through the stencil. And I use the mini blending tool because it gets into all the nooks and crannies. Right? I think when you use the rectangle one, you can miss a lot of the design on the stencil. That's what I found happens with me. But with the mini, it's okay. Right, so I'm starting to build up another layer on top of the reverse stenciling that I just did before. And I might throw some down here. And I might just do it lightly. Whoop. And I might put some heavier ones up in the top corner, just because I can. And I'm not blending, you know, like how we've talked about in the past. Oh, nice. Nice. And there we have a really fun background starting to appear. I may want to just add a few little circles here and there. So I can just go down and put a little cluster. Little cluster, just partially using the stencil. You don't have to use the whole stencil every time you use the stencil. And I might want to extend these ones out into the middle a little bit. And down here. And you just have to lift it up and have a look and see where you're going with it. And I might bring that one in there like that. Just so I've got the bubbles flowing through. So that's our background that we've made. Doing the, oh, can you see? Is it clear? These work really well. The rectangle ones, not so good. They do work, but not as well as the round ones, what they call the mini blending tools. And the other option you've got, if you've got the brushes, and they work beautifully with different stencils as well. So that's all I'm going to show you today, because I sat down, I had this grand plan, I was going to show you 7 different stencil techniques. And I sat down and brainstormed, and in under 5 minutes I had a full page with 9 different ones, and I just didn't think any further. There's dozens of them. There seriously is a lot of things you can do with a stencil. So I thought what I would do is sit down, and I'm going to do some YouTube clips, and they'll only go for 5 or 10 minutes, and I'm going to put a whole series on my YouTube channel which all relate to stenciling. The other thing that I want to do, a lot of people have been asking me, not confident with putting backing on rubber stamps. So I'm going to do a demonstration, and there's a couple of little, there's a few different ways to do it, really. I mean, it's all basically the same, but everyone has their own little way of doing it. So I'm going to show, do a video and put that up on the YouTube channel. So it won't be as a Facebook Live, it'll be as a standalone video for you just to go back and reference. So there you go. I think that looks nice in the pink. I thought I'd show you a couple of ones that I've done using those two techniques. This one is just blending. I don't know whether I've shown you this one before. So she's masked off. Oh, we're out of focus. Hello. Oh, hello. So mask her off, and just that's ink through a stencil in black. So really effective if you want something to stand out. The other one I thought I'd show you that I've done earlier this year, which uses both techniques. It's ink through a stencil, and it's also the reverse stenciling. So this is the one. If you look here, all these white bits, it's reverse stenciling. But you know, this background is done with distress ink. So instead of putting more distress ink on it and spraying it, I just sprayed it with water. And we all know that when you put water onto a distress ink background and then dab it, it lifts the colour off. So then you end up with like a ghosting type effect. So there's that. So they're the two samples I wanted to show you. And I've told you about the specials. It's Darker Indoor stencils are on special. That's Crafty, these dinkies, they're on special. And all the visible image ones are on special as well. How am I going? Has anyone got any questions that they want to put up in the comments? No? No questions? I think with stencils, it's a matter of just practicing. And I seriously believe that in crafting, nothing is difficult. There is nothing that is difficult. What makes things seem a bit overwhelming sometimes is when there's 20 steps thrown in to make one piece. And it may be daunting. But I truly believe that once you have the knowledge and you understand the techniques and how each one works, that knowledge empowers you. It gives you more confidence, and when you've got confidence, you start having more fun with your crafting. And when you have fun with your crafting, it shows on everything that you make. If you're following Rubber Dance, the techniques that I did today, I can't show you the card, but I use that exact same technique to make the background, and you'll see it when it comes up on Rubber Dance. Right, so keep an eye out. When it's on Rubber Dance this time, I don't have a step-by-step tutorial for it, but I've just shown you what I did. So you got a heads up. I just want to have a look at the comments and see. Oh yeah, I went all fuzzy. I think I'm right now. Yes, now I'm going to show you, someone asked about the distress ink. I came prepared. I've got my distress ink and just plain card. I just do it on white card. I'm going to show you, can you see? Same thing. Give a good coverage. It's not going to look, spritz it with water. And remember, we wipe around the edges. Have your paper towel handy in a clean area. And you go down like that and dab it. And that become, oh, there's a bit more on there, so we'll go in again in another area. Oh, I like that one. Give that a clean. And that's what it looks like on normal card, just with distress ink. So this is glossy card with oxides. So not a lot of difference. A lot of fun. I think it's just something, have a look and see what's in your stash and have a play, I think. You can do both those techniques with either distress ink or distress oxides. And like I said, in this one, I didn't even put ink on the back. Oh, over here. These whites, I just put water on the back. So, I haven't got a piece to show you. Just try it with water. Let it sit for about 10 seconds or even 20 seconds. And what that does, it gives the ink time to reactivate, because it's distress ink. It will reactivate with water, and then dab it with a paper towel and dry it with a heat gun, and the whole thing will come up lighter. It's I think it's called ghosting. All right. Any other questions? Let me have a look down. No? Okay, well, until next time, take care, keep crafting, and above all else, have fun. Always, always, that's all it's about. See you later.